No, that's
Or is it me?
No, it's just me. It was
Like,
all the way
you
up.
gotta boom
God
out.
damn. The notches were all the way up. Okay. Yeah. Say something.
Yo, check. Yeah.
She's an artist, songwriter, entrepreneur, and a mother. My guest, Analea Brown.
Wait, hold on, Maikon. I'm about to switch it up on you.
Oh, shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Maikon.
Oh, shit.
Yay! Like, do you ever get the clappy thingies?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm like, I never get the clappy thingies.
So where are you from, Analea?
I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm a Utah girl.
Born and raised?
Born and raised. And I'm a proud Utah girl. Like,
Hell yeah.
everywhere I go, like, I wave the Utah flag and, I'm not ashamed.
That's funny because a lot of artists don't, And I feel like that's a problem that we have in Utah where it's like, why are you not proud of Utah? It's cool that artists like you are pushing that flag around. And it's like, nah, we're lit here.
Yeah. I mean, Utah's a great place. It's a great place to raise kids. I love it here.
There's so much talent too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're Polynesian, Tongan.
Yes.
How's that?
It's awesome. It's been a journey in my adult years to like continue to learn more about my culture because I wasn't born there, so I was born here in the States. So it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been cool to do research and to learn a lot.
What's the most interesting you've learned about the Tongan culture?
I think mostly like just growing up, a lot of the culture is based on love and respect. And I think that's so beautiful. And the way that I move in my music and in my career, I always try to like keep those vibes and give them out to other people, keep that energy.
What's the funniest thing in the Tongan culture?
The funniest thing about being a Tongan is like our women are very much built different. Like we're a little bit more muscular in general overall. Like I'm not saying like all of us are that way, but like I got big calves and I'm okay with it. Like I'm proud of my big calves. So
I love that.
I love it. I mean, I think there's beauty in every culture and the way that people look in every culture. And I think that's beautiful. So shouts out to all my Polynesian women.
And the men too.
Yes,
you got
of
big
course,
men.
of course.
Where was that point that you encountered and discovered music?
I come from a very musical family.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm cousins to the Jets. They were like a family band in the 80s. I mean, so like I was always around music and that's very much how my family is. Like family gatherings when I was little consisted of everyone getting together and like bringing out the guitars and, just playing music and jamming and singing all together. And it was so much fun. But for me, I would say it really started when I was in high school. I played sports like all throughout my childhood. I played every sport, softball, basketball, volleyball, soccer. I wasn't a Maikon. I wasn't no Maikon. But, I did it all. And going into high school and playing sports on the teams in high school, my plan was to get to college through sports. Yeah. Any sport that I could. And then my junior year, I tore my ACL. So I was out senior year. Yeah, I got the surgery done and everything. And my parents, they felt bad for me. Like they would just watch me after the surgery. I was so depressed because I couldn't do anything. I felt so helpless. And I think that's one of the worst feelings ever, by the way. They saw me depressed and they bought me a guitar. And so I would sit there with the guitar and just like try to learn things. I had nothing else to do. So it was cool. And then I started songwriting along with learning how to play the guitar. And I think that's when the love for songwriting sparked for me.
What about music captivated you?
I think for me, like it was the ability to express my feelings through music and for people to feel something. Like seeing people feel something from the thing that I created was so cool to me. Like it's seriously it's hard to explain the feeling, but I know that like it feels similar to love for me. Yeah.
Ooh, damn, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I don't even think you're in the moment when you're making a song. It just comes out.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
I agree with that.
People mumble a lot when they're songwriting because we don't care about the words. We just care about the feeling. How can we capture?
How does it feel?
Yeah.
I so agree with that, yeah.
How has it been to be a Tongan in the music industry?
Growing up here in Utah, as a Tongan American, I grew up in a house that was pretty Americanized. Like we weren't super traditional growing up. My parents didn't speak Tongan in the home. And so like, I think all through my childhood, it was like, oh, I'm Tongan, it's great. Like I didn't grow up around a lot of Tongan kids or Polynesian kids. And so by the time I got to high school, I started to look around and like, I realized I was a little bit different than the other Tongan kids, than the other Polynesian kids, because I didn't speak the language and I didn't really practice the traditions in the home like they did.
Oh, wow.
And so I think for me, that started like this insecurity of like, am I Polynesian enough? Am I Tongan enough? And I don't know. I think that was really hard for me. And across cultures, I've noticed that there are people, like if they grow up pretty Americanized and without the tradition in the home, like they can relate to that. And so, that's very much how I felt. And so I think being Tongan now, and as I'm continuing to learn more about my culture, like I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be Tongan. And, you know, I try to take that love with me and share that love with people everywhere I go.
How did the Tongan industry welcome you?
You know, I think Polynesians in general are pretty supportive of each other, like the Latin culture.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
They're pretty supportive of each other. And, you know, I think there are so many of us that are talented, who can sing, who grow up singing.
It's crazy.
But I think that not many are, out of all of those people, are willing to take the risk to come into music, because it is hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And I think a lot of it too is also like they don't know where to start.
Yeah, that's the scariest
Yeah.
thing.
So
for any
me,
artist, right?
Yeah. So for me, like I came into the industry songwriting. After high school, I moved to Las Vegas and I started songwriting for a major production team out of Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
And for me, that was the start of my music journey.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing.
You're a mother as well.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that not complicate, but how were you able to manage being an artist and a mother as well?
You know, it's really scary.
Oh, oh my God.
It's really scary because I think like being an entrepreneur, period, like you have times when it's real up and when it's real down, you have to figure it out. And you can either stop and quit and, you know, do something else, or you can just push through. And I think for me, pushing through and the ability to just like believe in myself has been the toughest thing, but the most rewarding.
Yeah. It's funny. Doesn't it feel so good when you just keep pushing?
Yeah.
No matter how hard it is, what you go through, you
absolutely.
just keep pushing.
Absolutely. And, you know, I have to say, like, I don't know that I would have been able to do it without the support system that I have.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah. You know, like all of my family is very supportive, especially my parents. They like come on tours with me. They come
That's really
they come
cool.
and watch my daughter. They are super supportive. They're at almost every show, know, across the nation, whatever. It's definitely a blessing to have them there, because I know that that's not the case for everyone.
Yeah. What does your daughter think of you being an artist?
Oh my gosh, she loves it. Yeah, my daughter, I try to include her in everything that I do. So on tours, she's up on stage with me. She's performing. She grew up in the studio. She grew up going to meetings with me. And it's been really cool. Like she's homeschooled and she's dying to go to public school. Let me tell you.
So cool.
She wants to be around all the other kids, but you know what? Like it's not really, like her going to public school isn't really conducive to, you know, my schedule and what I do. And I feel bad in that sense, but I feel good. Like it sits right with my heart knowing that I'm showing her through my actions and examples, and she's there seeing the struggle, and she's there seeing how hard it is, and you know, like how we have to push through. And so it's been cool.
I'm not a parent yet, but I will be someday. And it's scary to think that whatever you haven't healed, you have to heal before you even teach them that. How has that experience been from you were a daughter before, now you're a mother? How was that transition?
I think like a lot of parents can relate to me. It's scary. It's like a constant battle of just trying to figure it out. You have to figure it out as you go. And like my sisters have a bunch of kids. I think with every child, it's different. And you just constantly just trying to figure out as you go.
See, that's the beautiful thing about that, because I've learned that with your partner, we got to treat him like kids sometimes. Imagine if your partner, your husband came to you and said something, he felt something. And you were like, you don't know shit. Would you reply to your son like that? And
that's a good point.
I treat my girl as how I would treat my daughter. If I was to treat my daughter in a way, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? I'll probably hug her. But for some reason, we get lost in our mind and we're like, we don't care about what you feel. What about me? But if we switch that and we said, we're just kids at the end of the day, growing up together, you know, I feel like that would change everything. So me hearing about you talking about your daughter, that they learn all the time, that's how it should be with the partner. It should be, what's going on with you? Who are you now? Like, what's different? Have you changed?
Yeah.
And we forget that sometimes in relationships.
I love that. See, look, you're so ready to be a dad.
Yeah,
Okay, Maikon.
oh my God.
Let's go.
3 more years. That's what you gave me.
I love it.
It's a scary thing, but I feel like I'm glad I waited, a long time to be a father because I've learned so much and I've healed from anything that was hurting me. So my kids don't have to heal from whatever I did to them. I've been proud kind of to like, wait,
Yeah.
And I know that I'm going to be an old dad, but shit, I'm going to be still running around.
I love it. I think, shouts out to you because that takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
It's obvious that you have thought this well through. So you're going to be a great dad.
Yeah. What was that moment when you decided, I really love music, I want to take it to the next level?
It wasn't until I had my daughter that I decided I was going to be an artist.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think it was, that pressure?
No, I think it was when I was a songwriter, we would go to the shows of whoever, like whatever artist we were working with to watch the show, to come and support. And I remember always sitting there thinking like, man, I want to do that. Like, that looks so freaking fun. But I think in the back of my mind, it was always like, I don't know if I could do that.
So
you know?
Yeah.
And so after I had my daughter, the thought came to me that was, I never want my daughter to grow up thinking that, number one, I gave up my dreams for her. But number two, I wanted her to know from my example that there are no limits to what you can do no matter what your situation is. I definitely wanted to be that example through my actions.
You were afraid probably to take the next step to become an artist. The fact that you just had a kid, that you went through 9 months of so much pain, and it's incredible what you guys have to go through. I feel like that was like, what the fuck am I scared of now?
I love it. In a way, like in return, I feel like she kind of saved me because I love what I do and I never regret a day of it. So, yeah.
Damn, that's powerful.
Oh.
You have something to live for. I feel like after you have kids, you don't need a purpose. That's the purpose right there.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, like the thought after they have kids is like, oh, like now I can't travel. Now I can't like chase my dreams. But I think like for me, it's like, no, yes, you can.
It's even harder now.
Yeah, absolutely. Go harder.
What's your purpose with music? Where do you want to take it?
Oh, man. I hope I can, by the time I'm like gone from this world, I hope that I can be able to say like, I left something magical behind. I think for me, being able to leave something behind that you created is so beautiful.
Yeah.
People like the people who have passed on, like their music is still playing today.
Yeah.
And
dude.
I think that's so beautiful. Like it's timeless.
Yeah, that's why I love this show, because I don't know, I'm gonna be 80 someday and I'm gonna be remembering myself talking to the people that are still alive or won't be alive, Like you capture a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Just like you with music,
oh my gosh,
you capture time.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's such a beautiful thing that we can create and then leave it for people who come after us.
Absolutely, yeah.
The reason why I'm doing this is because somebody did it and I looked up to them. So hopefully a kid looks at me and he's like, man, I would like to do what Maikon does. That's cool. That's just to me is priceless.
I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
What's the hardest thing about being an artist?
Would probably have to be just like parenting, like figuring it out. Yeah. Because I think like there's no one right way to be an artist. You know what I mean? Like there's no one right way to make it in this industry. No. It's a constant struggle of trying to figure it out and trying to reinvent yourself and trying to express things as you grow.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the hardest thing. As you're figuring it out, technology's changing, the industry's changing. So like you're having to like, I feel like you have to do that simultaneously while you're growing and trying to figure out what you're doing. Like it's crazy. But I think like being able to have goals is always a good thing, obviously. But for me personally, like I just got into the NFT space.
Ooh,
and
okay.
Coming in, I didn't know anything about NFTs.
It was tough for a minute.
I knew about NFTs, but I didn't know the world of like selling NFTs as music.
Yeah.
It's been so crazy. Like I sold out my first NFT, 100 copies for $100 each in 7 minutes. I made $10,000 in 7 minutes.
God dang.
Let's go. You know what I mean?
Go.
But that goes back to like figuring it out. Sometimes it hella works and it's like amazing, but sometimes it doesn't work and you just keep trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's like, you know how they say you gotta keep chipping away at the rock.
Absolutely.
And one day, you're going to get there. And the saddest thing is when people keep pushing and then they're this far away from making it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
This far. And they're just like, no, it's impossible. It's like, fuck, you fucked up, dude. Yeah. How can you explain your music?
When I became a songwriter, in the team that I was with, I wrote in every genre. I was writing like Latin music. I was writing opera. I was writing rap. I was writing everything. And for me, like as an artist, I love reggae. And I grew up listening to reggae, but I love bringing those genres that I love to write and produce into reggae. I think it's a beautiful fusion. And so I guess that's what I would say. It's like a beautiful fusion of reggae and other genres. But I am branching out and doing other genres. Like I just released an NFT last month that was rap. And it's been so fun. I left my label last year and it's been really cool to just like explore and to not feel limited to what music I can put out and what I can do. Yeah. That's not to talk down on the label that I was with. I love those guys and it wasn't a dramatic leaving for me. It was just, it felt like my time to go.
It was a decision you made.
Yeah. And so being independent, I've been really intentional in doing and exploring all the things that I've been dying to explore.
I love how you say intentionally.
Yeah.
That's when life changes, when you can control what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And that's tough because people think that, I have control now, I can chill. Now it's even harder.
Yeah.
That's why when it comes to record labels, I always say, what do you want to be? Are you somebody who can't handle things? Or are you somebody who loves to take care of things, to take control? Because if you're someone who loves to take control, I don't think a label is for you. But if you love to just care about the music and, have free time and have peace, then you should get a label, Because I don't think there is calm when you're an independent artist. It's constantly work. What else can I do?
It's like beautiful chaos.
Yeah.
In my journey, I think that I'm super grateful for everything that has happened that has led me up until now because I feel like I learned a lot through, being assigned to a label and I was able to be given the space and time, and it was the season of figuring out what I wanted to be as an artist and what I wanted my music to sound like. And so, it was growth for me.
It's beautiful, dude. I feel like women are taking over the music industry.
Man.
And it's beautiful. I love to see it.
I say that because reggae music is a very male-dominated genre. And
that's true.
I wish some more women would come into this and be like, I am here. But you know what? I think it's getting there. And I think for me as a woman in this genre, it's just everything that I create is very intentional because I want to be able to have my music be timeless. I want my music to be able to have a message that someone can feel and relate to.
Yeah.
I want people to be able to feel something when they listen to my music.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Music really has done so many things for people without even knowing. If you could go back in time, you had the Analea spaceship time machine, right? What would you tell your younger self?
Man. Oh, gosh, that's a hard one. There's so many things like don't straighten your hair. No, I'm kidding. I think I would have told myself to never doubt yourself. I think coming into the industry, I had a lot of doubts, and that's hard, to be able to push through even when you don't want to.
Yes.
Like that's really hard.
That's a secret though.
And coming into the industry, especially like as a 19-year-old, coming into the industry, like I had to learn real quick. I was thrown into the room with like all these people who were so seasoned, and I had to believe in myself and remember that as a songwriter, we have the same amount of words that are available to us. You know what I mean? The only thing that separates me and this songwriter who's written hits is our bank accounts, probably. But you know what I mean? Like, I am not any more limited than this person. Maybe I don't have as much experience, but all the words he's using are available to me to use.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest lie that successful people have told is that they're special. There's no such thing as special. There's just dedication and stupid hard work.
Yeah, more of making it in this industry. And I won't, like, I haven't made it yet, okay? I'm still very much like growing and on my journey to make it, right? To make it. Yeah. But I think it takes more of that than it does talent or anything else.
Yeah.
It takes more of like the stuff you don't want to do. This is the dirty work. The endless nights of staying up and trying to learn how to engineer when you're just an artist. Like for me, that did wonders because I was in the studio, my first album, and I was able to complete my first album in a week because I knew how to record myself. So the engineer could work in a separate room with the other producers. They could put that together while I was recording myself.
Exactly.
And a lot of it is a lot of being an artist is just that, like the stuff that no one wants to do.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That the biggest lie ever told about successful people was that they're special, because they're not. They're just a normal person, just like me and you, who work their ass off, and they like it. For some weird thing, it's like not stressful for them. It's not tiring for them. It's just exciting. It's like a game.
You know what? I feel like you've really figured out what your purpose in life is when you're doing the work, and it don't feel like work.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. It gives you an adrenaline rush. And even though you're freaking tired because you only had 2 hours of sleep, like it's so much fun. And that's why, I'm super grateful for music and for being able to be in the industry. It's a trip.
Yeah, dude. You are so close to being where you want to be.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I freaking hope so. Because you know what? I am trying to, being an independent artist now, I'm putting myself in a position where I could be the label. And, that's been the goal for me after leaving the label is, I'm working with a private investor and I'm trying to put myself in a position where I make all the decisions.
Yes.
I'm the boss. You know what I mean? And it's been like a lot of learning. And I love that. Like, even though it's like all the paperwork and all the attorneys and like I'm still learning, and I'm grateful for that. I'm super grateful.
I love that you talk about an investor, because I always tell artists, if you want to make it in this industry, find an investor that will give you the money you need, or work your ass off and get the money you will need so you can become your own investor.
Yeah. I think it's all about, being able to have professionals helping you to take those steps to get where you want to go.
As an artist, dude, I always said, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to make a lot of money. And instead of signing to a record label, I will hire a record label. Now, instead of me signing my life away, you guys will just be my workers, because in a way, a record label is just that. People who have a skill and a value that they could give to somebody. So why am I going to sign to a record label when I can just get the money and then hire them to work for me? Do you think if Elon Musk wanted to become a rapper today, it would be easy for him?
Oh, yeah. Would he have people that like his music? I'm not sure. Maybe like true fans of the guy.
AI music?
Maybe true fans of the guy. No, I'm kidding. I feel like anyone can create music. You know what? I had a discussion the other day about, people were asking like, what do you do if someone doesn't like your music? And to me, it's like, I feel like it's a two-way street. Like everyone is entitled to their opinion. If they don't like my music, it's okay. I promise it's okay.
It's okay.
Artists out there, don't ever be offended if someone doesn't feel your music. Like, you just keep putting your music out and you'll find the people that like your music and they'll rock with you.
See, and then that's the beautiful thing you said. Anybody can create music. I watched this video where this guy was saying, if I clap my hands right now, if in that moment you just heard me clapping, you're not an artist or a songwriter. If at that moment you were making melodies up while I was clapping, you have a chance in this industry. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's cool, yeah.
That's what an artist is. Someone who can hear things without anything being played. That's what an artist is. We have this thing in our mind that we need to put it into instruments or
like some
into
freaking
recording.
ADD. Like, we can't help it. It's just like, oh man.
No, but yeah, dude, it's been an amazing time.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Agreed. Very much agreed. Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the Maikon show. It was an amazing episode. I feel like I've learned a lot about you, and they learn about you too.
Yeah.
And what do you got to tell the people? Where can they find you?
You can find me online, Analea Music, Analea Brown. My Instagram is at Analea Brown. And I'm on TikTok and all the things. I do have new music coming out. So yeah, tap in and follow me and let's do it.
And to you guys, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're right here with us right now.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And Maikon. And like I always said, love yourself, stay alive, and Post Malone, we're coming for you.
Hey.
Yes.
Can I be there when you...
Fuck yeah. I'm on a mission right now, Analea.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep making these episodes. And I'm going to have Post Malone Sunday.
Man, I heard Posty was cool.
Yeah, I heard he's amazing.
He's hella cool.
He's amazing, So
we love you, Posty.
I know that if I just keep working hard, putting in work. He's going to be right here, sitting right here, or I'm going to be in his house. I don't know, someday, but I'm putting it out there.
You know what? Just like you said, like the blessings are just going to come.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But no, yeah, dude, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Amazing time. Love you guys. Go to sleep early. Love yourself.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, number one thing. You don't want to pass out, you know. The sun is too crazy right now. But yeah, love you guys. Take care. Peace out.
Bye, guys. Sorry,
Because-
I'm real goofy with it. I can't help it.
I gotta.
I'm a mom. Sorry.
You're a mom.